What is up, guys? Keki Gestos here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's episode, I want to share with you how I got inspired to create my first gig on Fiverr. In my previous episode, I taught you on how to avoid getting your gig removed, like how my first gig was removed from Fiverr, and also Fiverr taking away my verification to be a seller on their platform. On today's episode, I want to share with you why I uploaded my first gig on Fiverr. I watched a particular YouTube video when I chanced on becoming a freelancer online. I dived into it and I started doing a little bit research on what I can do to, hop onto this platform to set it as a side hustle. I entered Fiverr and I searched for the kind of work people do over there. I'm a mechanical designer. I went into the line of a mechanical designer to actually look for what people do as a mechanical designer online. So I went to a lot of people's profile and I saw the kind of things they do and the amount they charge, and I was really inspired because I can maybe do same with the kind of 3D models they do. So I decided to hop onto it and become a seller on this platform. Without wasting my time, let me show you what actually inspired me to become a seller on this platform. Alright guys, so this is basically my screen and this is Fiverr. I've already opened the web browser. So what we are going to do is we are going to go through the list of mechanical designers online and the kind of gig they have uploaded and the kind of money they actually charge for this work. Alright, so let's look at this first gig, and the seller's name is called Alex. Let us jump into his gig and let's see what he has for us. Alright, so his title for this gig is I will make 3D models in SolidWorks for your 2D drawings sketches. I actually don't understand this one. He said I will make 3D models in SolidWorks for your 2D drawings sketches. Guys, I really advise you on the previous episode that when uploading your gig on Fiverr, try and use clear English. Make sure your grammar is very clear. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Guys, go and enjoy that video. Alright, so he said I'll make 3D models in SolidWorks for your 2D drawings and sketches. Okay, so this is basically what he does. He basically uses SolidWorks in his work, and this simple 3D model, and there's the amount he's charging. That's $25. Convert to $25 into your home currency or your currency. That is, I'm in Ghana, so $25 multiplied by 16.5. You're going to get the actual amount you'll be paid when someone actually comes into seek for your help or seek for your services. So he said about this gig, he said please contact me before placing your order. Yes, it's very true. Actually, what they do is they actually place or put the gig over there, right? So if you are interested in any of their gig, what you do is you are basically going to do what? Contact them directly so that they give you directions. Maybe the $25 he plays over there is just a fee just to attract you to contact them for your gig. All right. So he's trying to explain his experience he has on Fiverr. He said, I prefer to assign a fair price to each project after I understand what you need. That's what I was also doing. Or your description for the project or the kind of project you want to do. That's basically what I base on to charge you for the project. All right. And you can't just assume that I'm a 3D modeler, so you just send me any 3D object and expect the amount to be the same. The amount really differs from the kind of project you describe to. This is what he basically does using SolidWorks. So he's from Ukraine and his response time is 1 hour. Alright, we are not interested in all of these. This is what we are basically interested in. We are actually opening his gig to actually find out what he actually do online. Alright, so this is the first thing. Alright, so this is a 3D model. I think this is a sandboard. This is a 2D sketch with dimensions and annotations. Alright, so this is basically one of his work, and I think you can see people are recommending him. He said amazing seller. He's a very talented designer with extensive knowledge. Yes, so that's the feedback he basically gets after he's done with your services. So okay, and with the kind of amount he's charging for this work, we have the basic, the standard, and the premium. And with the basic, I think he's charging $25 for these packages. So these packages include the source file. So when we say the source file, actually I do AutoCAD, so the source file becomes DWG. He will basically send the DWG file for YouTube, which is very difficult to get. I don't think any designer would like to send, either maybe Photoshop designer, he wouldn't send his PSD file or DWG file to you. It will be very difficult for a designer to actually do that. So for the standard, he's charging $50 for the standard, and for the basic, he's charging $25 for the basic. That's a simple 3D model. You see, a simple 3D model. And for the standard, he said 3D model plus drawings, right? So he's not only going to send the pictures to you, but he's actually going to send the drawings to you. The drawings can be in the form of the front view, the end view, all the elevations you need. All right. And with a premium, he's going to do the 3D model, the drawing, and a 3D animation, right? So he's going to do or render a 3D animation in his service, and for that service he's charging for $150. And this package includes the source file, 2 drawings, 3 simple 3D animations. This is very clear and simple, and this is very easy to do. All right, so let us look for another seller to this is basically a 2D modeler, right? So he's saying I'll design 2D and 3D model for 3D printing using SolidWorks. All right, so when we come to the world of 3D printing actually uses CAD, right? Computer aided design, to actually design whatever they want to print. All right, so when you look at my screen, you can see this basic 3D sketch over here. It's actually paying off over here, and he's charging $10 for this simple 3D model. And this is simple because it is not really complex, because you're going to actually print it out using a 3D printer, right? I think in my next episode I'll tackle on what 3D printer is and how we can design and incorporate 3D drawing in our normal and life as mechanical engineers. So this is what he does, and this is a simple 3D sketch which I can basically use 1 or 2 minutes to actually do the 3D sketch. Okay, so as you can see, these are some of his products, and it has been 3D printed, as you can see. So if you look at artifacts like this, right, you get to look at artifacts like this, maybe he can actually design something like this for you and send the source file for you to actually use it in your 3D printer to actually manufacture or produce an artifact like this. And he's charging $10 for this service, and he says basic drawing, and he said the standard drawing $25 for the standard drawing. So with a basic drawing, he's not going to add the source file, he's just going to add do the 3D model, functional prototype, and a visual prototype. And the visual prototype can be maybe the animations and other stuff. And the premium drawing. All right, so let us look for another seller too. He's charging $35 for the premium drawing. Right, actually this is my profile, and I started my gig from $20. All right, I'm much interested in mechanical designs, so let us look at something like this. All right, so he's saying his title is I will do 3D modeling and rendering, right? So he's basically going to do a 3D model and rendering for you. And this, as we can see, is one of his 3D models. There is one of it. There is a robot and other 3D models. All right, so basically, as you can see on my screen, this also can be 3D printed, right? So he only charge render only, so he only renders, right? After maybe you are done with your 3D model using any software you want, you then send a file to him for him to actually render the file for you. And that's what for me, I basically do and charge everything in all. I don't just charge for the drawings and charge for the dimensions. I basically charge everything together. Okay, so with the standard, he will do premium 3D model plus render. He will render and basically do the model for you too. And the pro for absolutely best results. So I don't actually know the meaning of this, but I think he has a lot of review. He was very creative and kind. So let us look at another model too. I'm going into industrial and product designs. So let's see, I'm interested in this engine. So this service is offered by a pro freelancer, right? And we have verified freelancers. Actually, we have all been verified on Fiverr, but we have people who have actually mastered the game and are professionals on Fiverr, and actually Fiverr tag them or recommends their work easily for people. So this is a pro designer, and what he basically do is image render, photorealistic image output from provided 3D CAD file. So basically what he does is that you provide him with your 3D CAD file and you basically render your design or 3D model for you. That's what he basically do, and he's charging a whopping $100 for this. And with a standard version, he's charging $250 for this, and he's saying CAD image source. He said detailed model photorealistic image source file. And with a premium service, he is charging $365 for the premium section, and he's saying he will do a detailed 3D photorealistic image for you. Guys, that's why I've always been hitting on how to render. Doing a 3D model is basically different from knowing how to render quality images or photorealistic images for your 3D models. It takes a whole course to learn how to render. You can basically do it right with your 3D models, but how to render it becomes a tough time and a problem for a lot of mechanical designers. The end game of your 3D model you are doing is actually how to render it for it to look photorealistic. So this is basically what he do on Fiverr. He draws the engine and give a detailed rendering. You see, it's very, very, very detailed. Very, very detailed. This is actually for 3D printing purposes. So he's saying, I will do technical drawings, illustrations, line drawings, and 2D sketches for you. Okay, so basically he's restricting himself to 2D technical drawings. So from this 3D model, he's picking it and converting them into 2D drawings for you. So and he's charging $10 for this 2D technical drawing, for the standard $25 and $50 also. Okay, so that's what she's basically doing online. So guys, this is what actually inspired me. When we went through a lot of 3D models online, I wanted to prove myself. So I actually hopped onto this Fiverr to actually become a seller on this platform, because I wanted to challenge my ability and skills I have in 3D models and basically CAD in general. So this is basically what actually inspired me to become a seller on Fiverr. I'm trying to resolve my issue I've had with Fiverr for the past month. Hopefully I'll be verified again as a seller, and guys, you see my 3D models over there. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm a 3D designer, I'm a 3D modeler, and if you find this video helpful, make sure you hit on the like button, make sure you hit on the subscription button, share this video to your friends. Catch you guys on another one.